Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Tolushio. On this channel, we'll be talking about lifestyle, about relationship, be it marriage, be it dating, you understand? So, any one of it, yeah, we'll be talking about it. So, this is my first video, and I hope you support your girl. I hope you like. I hope you please subscribe, and I hope you turn on the notification post so that next time when I make a post, you'll be the first person to be notified. Thank you. I hope you've subscribed. Thank you. Okay, so I want to start with my own experience. Something happened to me about 11 years ago. Yeah, about 11 years ago, I remember. I was in a relationship with a guy like that, and let me not use the word a guy like, because back then, we were so much in love. Virtually everyone around, within our community back then knew we were so much in love that every other guy we're kind of, can I use the word afraid? No, they were not afraid, but they didn't really have that courage to actually come forward to meet me like, oh, girl, I like you. No, because the moment they try to, and someone notifies them that, hey, that girl is for so person, and then they step back. Okay, so back to my story. I remember back then, we started with, from, liking me, seeing me from a music, because we actually met at a musical group, and then, okay, did I tell you? Your girl sings, yes. Okay, maybe someday I'll be singing for you. So we met at a musical group, and then he liked me, and then, he told me he liked me, and then we started dating. But let me tell you, I didn't tell him yes immediately. It took me a while. Yeah, that girl's thinking. So it took me a while to say yes, and then we started dating. He came to meet my mom. My mom got to know him, and my mom also liked him. They were best of pals, yeah. I'm in Nigerian based in South Africa. So where I am from, I'm a Yoruba girl. Where we come from, when you're dating, it starts from dating to courtship. That's how they think it is. So when you start dating, you get to know the in-law to be family. You go to their place, you try to just familiarize yourself with them. I don't know if I can use that word. So, getting to know them, hang out with them. From there, they will get to know you as well. And you yourself will know if you are to kind of stay, hang in more there, you understand, with such a guy and his family. So I remember back then, I went to his home, met his mom. No, I was going there. I go there from work. Sometimes I go Friday, and then on Saturday or Sunday evening, after church, God forgive me, after church, I go back home to prepare for work the following week. And then it was on and on like that. We were so close that we saw the relationship heading forward to marriage. And then fast forward to years after I think 2 years after, 2 years after thereabouts, he proposed to me at his brother's wedding. And then I said yes. Yes. The girl said yes, because I was actually expecting the relationship to lead to marriage. And then I said yes. After saying yes, fast forward again to some time, he had to travel, leave Nigeria to another country. And then that was when the whole drama started. So I had to go back to school to complete my studies. And then it started with some days it's okay, where are you when he calls? Probably times when I need to go to get stuff to eat. You understand? Probably just times when I returned from lecture, from school late, and I needed to still eat, to still feed my tummy. And then when I go out and he calls me, he's like, hey, where are you? And I'm like, okay, I'm on the street, just very close to my house. It's like, okay, what are you doing? With who? You get that questions who? With who? What did you go and do? Those kind of funny questions. And it was at first, it wasn't anything to me at first, but gradually that thing was becoming too often. And it was okay, why is this person just asking me questions like, where are you? Who are you with? Okay, what happened like that? Fine, there's nothing bad in him asking me how my day went about. But, at any time he calls and I'm outside, probably coming from fellowship or from school, and it's like, where are you? Who are you with? Those questions, he started with that. And then, it's went on and on like that for some time, and then gradually it was one excuse or another, one issue or another. There was even a time he even called me. It was like, okay, somebody called me from your school and the person told me he's your boyfriend. And I'm like, what? My boyfriend? I'm like, no. Your girl back then wasn't double dating. All I knew back then was just to date one person and then just stick to the person. I was so faithful. Like, I was one kind of a person that I stick to one person when I'm there. I don't know how to do this, now. Yeah, but it started coming up with a lot of like, somebody called me, who were you with yesterday? And all I do back then was just go to school, go to fellowship, and then come back home. In fact, even friends who were like just classmates, my life was kind of boring to them because at times they tell me, babe, let's go out. I'm like, hey, I'm not going. I'm just the kind of person that like that. When my mom calls or when anybody calls and I tell them this is where I am, they are so certain that yes, that is where I am. But gradually it was like, there are times he calls me, somebody calls him to tell him he's my boyfriend, somebody calls him to tell him he's in love with me, and somebody tells him I was with him yesterday. And that thing was becoming too much, like, I wasn't really too cool with it. A lot of times, I realized that at the time, when that thing was becoming too much of like, one problem today, another problem tomorrow, and I'm like, what is happening? And then I decided to sit, and then I realized, okay, this thing that is actually happening now that this guy's actually traveled, they were not happening when he was kind of still within my vicinity, like when we could still see like tomorrow or the next 5 minutes or the next 20 minutes, you understand? Unlike when he'll have to travel down to where I was back then. And then I realized, okay, what is happening? And then there was a day I had to like just ask this guy like, hey dude, what is happening with us? We said we're gonna settle down, like, I think we said we're gonna settle down like in 3 years to that time when he proposed. And I'm like, okay, what is happening? It's not like I was pressurizing him. I hope you understand me. But, I felt like, okay, what is happening? Let me just know. Because I realized there are times that when anything happens between us and I say, okay, sorry. And then it takes this guy like, I think like, sometimes about a month to reach out to me again to like say, you can imagine. It takes him like about a month, yeah. Weeks, a month, thereabouts, and I have to be the one to even reach out to him, to like call him and apologize even for what I wasn't guilty of. And then I realized, okay, maybe because we're kind of staying, like the relationship was kind of getting too long. Okay, let's just know where we are heading to. I started asking my guy questions, and then when I ask questions and then he flip it up to like another thing or another, like you just look for one thing to just make us fight. And then we go on and on like that for weeks. In fact, I think the least of it was days. Well, it was like a week. Most time when we quarrel, oh God, we go for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month before we settle. And I will even have to be the one apologizing to this guy. All in all, we dated for about 5 years, yes. And by the 5th year, I had to call it a quit because I realized the relationship was heading nowhere. Yes, we've been together for 5 years doesn't mean this guy was actually going to settle down with me. And giving me an engagement ring doesn't mean he's ready to settle down with me. He gave me a ring, truly, but that doesn't mean he was ready for me. He was ready to settle down with me. If he was ready then, he wouldn't be looking for excuses at every time. So my sisters, please, whether you guys have been together for 10 years, for 5 years, for 8 years, that doesn't mean. It doesn't mean it's going to lead into marriage. It doesn't mean it's going to settle down for you. My sisters, I'm addressing this to those who are in a relationship that intend it to lead to a marriage. If you don't have the mindset of marriage, if you don't have that idea already, if you're not even thinking of it, it's fine. But I'm actually addressing this to those who are interested in marriage. See, because he has given you a ring. Yes, he gave me a ring and we were together. He proposed to me. Yes, we were together for years. But it doesn't mean it was going to end in marriage. So if you've been in a relationship for like 5 years, for 10 years, and it's heading nowhere, and you're crying, for crying out loud, for how long do you want to keep waiting? I'm not saying you should pressurize him for marriage, but please, come on, level up. Just think of yourself. If you have to stay off that relationship and then get something else doing, it's better than just wasting your time with someone and at the end of the day, it's not worth it. Let me tell you, because he gave you a ring, an engagement ring doesn't mean it's going to lead into a marriage. It's just a booking. That engagement ring you're looking at is just a booking and it can be called off at any time. This is my personal experience. Yes, that was what I experienced in my whole relationship. I'm not saying you should put a pressure on your own relationship, on your own partner. But if you've also experienced something close to this, you've been together for years, please, and you're prime, sit your partner down, discuss it, and from there you get to know where you guys both are. If it's leading anywhere, from there you will know. And if it's not, come to think of it, imagine you having to still wait. And then till for like another 7 years. And then the 7th year, you decide you hear him to have impregnated somebody else. What would you do? Okay. My own advice to you now is to sit with your partner, discuss the way forward. If he's not ready, don't pressurize him. Just decide, just know what to do. If it's a financial issue, you guys can both sit together and talk things out and look for how to help each other. This is my own experience I've just shared with you. If you also have something similar to that, I'd like to hear your own experience, your own opinion in the comment section below. Long-term relationship, is it really worth it? How long should one date for before marriage? Please, I'd like to hear your own opinion in the comment section below. And please don't forget to like, to share, and to subscribe to your girl's channel. Thank you so much, and God bless you.